I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. Don't second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G, sitting alongside Real and Jimmer today. And, boys, I told you, Arkansas was going to take care of business there against Gonzaga.
Yeah,
and they sure did.
You were correct,
Yeah,
sir.
did.
There's been a lot of really good games.
You're a secret Hog fan, aren't you?
Football too, right?
Basketball, it's starting to
Yeah.
fall into place here a little bit.
It's just a bad matchup. Like, Gonzaga doesn't play grimy hustle ball, you know?
No, because they have a soft-ass conference
Exactly.
they got to walk through, so.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. That, what was I going to tell you? Our man here is toughing through something, not feeling too well. I don't know if he's toughing through for the love of the game or if it's because he's lacking in personal time. Like, we're getting a little short in the PT department here.
Yeah.
But what a trooper.
Yeah, we'll get
What
through.
a trooper.
It's all good. We got some games tonight, yeah, Jimmer?
We do. I forgot I was going to tell you. Pick them out, I guess. Right now, it is halftime. Purdue and St. Peter's, the Peacocks. Seen an interesting thing today that it's National Peacock Day. Don't know if that's actually true. Just seen it in a meme. So I'm going to look that up here in a second. The score of that game right now is 33-29. Still close enough to give a pick, in my opinion. Who you got going right there?
Purdue still. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're
still
going to get
rolling
that
Purdue.
13, but.
Yeah, it may not cover that, but I think Purdue will still. Yeah, it's a game where it goes on. Those big guys kind of wear on you. So I watched it happen, to Longhorns. So I think that it'll end up happening.
I'm gonna roll with you guys too. Purdue plays they're used to playing like a down and dirty game. They may drop like 80, 90 points in one particular game, but they can hang and bang at like a 50-point game too. So seen that a few times, especially against the Hawkeyes. So we also have Kansas and Providence. That game basically, 7 minutes, about 8 minutes left in the first half. Kansas is up 15-8.
How much time left in the first half?
It says 7:54.
It just got started, I saw.
15-8?
Yeah.
Seems pretty low, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's way low.
Yeah.
That's some defense or some ugly shots going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch any of this. You feeling an upset here?
I'm taking Kansas.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm going to ride Providence.
There we go.
I got a warm whiskey wager on it. They pulled this off.
Okay.
You want some of that action?
Yeah.
There we go.
How about a 10-second chug of the bottle?
You can do. How about this? You can do it for fun, and then I'll agree to it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll throw one on there. Later on, we have North Carolina and UCLA. North Carolina keep this hot streak going.
Yep, North Carolina.
Yeah, I think so too. They're
Think
playing
so?
really well.
I actually have them also for the upset. I think they just keep rolling. They got hot right at the right time, and so to carry on. It kind of reminds me a lot of – this isn't like the North Carolina teams, like when they kind of come up short or whatever like that. It's because they were lacking scoring. They have three-point shooting. They have all that. And I actually am thinking of them more as that UConn team with my guy, says one of the sweetest nicknames ever, Cardiac Kemba. UConn got hot at the right time, won the Big East tournament, rolled through that, and then won and then went through and won the national championship, right? I think North Carolina is kind of showing visions of that. I'm not calling a natty championship yet, but I don't think it stops here yet.
Okay.
And then, for us Midwesterners, Iowa State against Miami. 11 versus 10. What do we got?
I was looking. I was kind of leaning away from Iowa State, even though that was my original pick the other night. And if you don't know why. It's because how up and down they were during the season.
Yeah, they're really bad on offense.
And I just don't know if they can repeat what they've been doing over and over again. 2 rounds at least? Man, I hate to do it, but I'm going to go Miami. I'm going to flip my pick, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd think at some point Iowa State would lose outside of the conference. I don't think this will be the game, though. I think Iowa State pulls through.
There we go. We're already split over there. So I'll be the tiebreaker, I guess. This is a tough one.
It is a very tough one.
Iowa
like
State,
I said, I picked Iowa State right off the bat, and then just the more I'm looking at it, I'm like,
Iowa State has true trouble scoring. They're one of the best defensive teams in the nation, but they're begging for buckets, right? Miami.
Jimmer's going Miami here.
No, I'm going Iowa State.
All right.
I'm going Iowa State. Let's go Cyclones.
Represent.
Like I said, I'm a true Iowa all-around fan as long as they're not playing each other. So I'm pulling for Iowa State. I'm going to roll with Iowa State on this. Keep the miracle season going for them for at least one more week.
Let's go.
Okay.
Well, then they'll roll right into what we got here. And that is Arkansas Razorbacks take down number 1 Gonzaga to make the Elite 8 in the NCAA tourney.
Yeah, Danny called it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be this round, but they have had lots of trouble going into the tournament. They have a soft schedule, and grab the 1 seed every year.
Yep.
And then they've just been, eking through the tournament, and it finally bit them.
Yeah. They don't really ever have to dig deep in games because their schedule is so weak, right, up until the tournament. And then when they do, they're just not prepared for it. And Arkansas has had to do that throughout the whole season. And they've got some ballers at Arkansas too, man. That team played up very much the other day. It was a fun game to watch. Kind of annoying because of all the games, people are saying that like the refs helped Arkansas beat Gonzaga.
I wouldn't go that far. I think Arkansas, and I know what you're talking about. Like, I've been hearing the same stuff. I will say, so 2 things. Number 1, Arkansas was the better team last night. Okay? No hands down, there was no debate there. Now, after saying that, if you watched those Chet Holmgren fouls, I don't know if you guys have seen those or not.
No.
Watch the replays. All of them are highly questionable. But 2 of them for sure you're like, what the fuck is that? Like they're straight up and down. He actually, and he's going to have to put on weight before he goes to the NBA anyway. But that's exactly what happened in these fouls. He went straight up and down, and because he's such a lean guy that when they went into him, he kind of flew like backwards, kind of did one of these things. But he went straight up and down when he went up for the last 2 for sure.
Yeah.
But every one of them was highly questionable.
The refs have been bad.
They have been really bad,
really
but
bad.
But I did want to make sure I made it very clear that I believe that Arkansas played the better brand of basketball. They played better. They were the better team. Yeah. So that I am not making the excuse for them, but I will tell you that the Chet Holmgren fouls were horrendous.
Yeah, there's some bad calls in the Duke Tech game. I got to watch last night as well. I think Tech was up by 8, and then pretty much anything that happened to a Duke player coming down, they just foul, and it's like, jeez.
Don't fuck with Coach K, baby.
I
think I watched. Oh, that isn't the one I was thinking of. What was the? Okay, we're gonna get to that one. That's actually the very next one. And I watched this game. I watched the second half for sure, and it was a very chippy game. It was awesome. They let them play in this game, and that's the Houston Cougars. Go into the Elite 8 after upset of number 1 seed Arizona Wildcats.
This was a surprise.
This one was a surprise, but what a lot of people won't say or keep forgetting is that, and if Luke was here, he would tell you too, is that they were projected to be in the middle of the pack at best in the Pac-12. Yeah. So they played outside of what they have a new coach, the whole works, right?
Well, like I told Luke, if anybody's gonna take him down, it would be a team from Texas. So,
yeah, but they were getting chippy. Their point guards,
their point guard, what is his name? Shed. something like that.
Something like that. But they
balling
were
out.
They were, and both of them were getting. Their players were getting after it. They were letting them play. Basically, a player had to go down on the. You can try grabbing that hoodie right there. Miles is in the studio tonight. Oh, Miley. I think he came up with a new nickname for Miles, didn't you?
Yeah, Monk Miles.
Monk Miles.
Monk Miles, baby.
Hey, look at that.
Appreciate you. It's just getting rid of some sunlight here. I'm getting blinded.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I didn't realize at all was Houston was in the Elite Eight last year as well. I didn't realize they were. So they had the experience. Mm-hmm. So back-to-back years for them for the Elite Eight. So knowing that, I guess in hindsight, you're kind of like, okay, I guess that makes more sense.
Yep.
But yeah, I was really surprised.
I was. They got chippy. The only time a foul was getting called in that game for the most part, what I was getting at is like when someone was going down to the floor. That's like they were actually letting them get after it. I liked it, and it was an enjoyable game. But
there's a Texas team left though, baby. Is that your new jam?
Yep.
There we go,
baby.
Dude, their coach may die though. Like that little it's Ralph Sampson, and that I'm telling you. That cat was having aneurysms on the sideline. It was ridiculous. I'm like, good God, man, calm down. Like, I understand this is an exciting time, but every little thing, I'm like, Jesus, calm down.
Yeah.
We'll get to, you already vaguely touched on it. Duke Blue Devils outlast Texas Tech as Coach K returns to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, that was a good game. Like I said, the refs got foul happy there for a while, but ultimately a really good game, and it's nice to see the players stepping up for Coach K's last season.
They did say, that, as in Coach K said that they were running a zone defense.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they were kind of shutting Texas Tech down, and Texas Tech kind of went ahead. And then his players all came around him, and like at halftime, like, hey, or whatever, whenever it was, might have been a timeout or whatever, and they all begged him and preached to go back to man and kind of turn the game around for him.
Oh, they went back to zone.
No, it says man.
They went back. I watched the game. They went back to zone late in that game.
Not what they were saying in his interview.
Yeah, they went back to zone with.
Well, hold on. Is it your zone or Juwan Howard's zone? Because he also said that there's a different type of zone versus.
That's true. No, they were late in the second half. They were still playing a zone. Because
no, I'm talking about like down the stretch. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, with like 5 minutes left, they were playing the zone. I watched them leave a Tech guy wide open because that's just kind of the open spot in the zone.
Yeah,
wide open for a three, and he missed. They got the rebound, threw it back out. He took it again, missed again.
Well, then Coach K was lying because that's exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah, I read that too. Yeah.
And not just read it; he literally said it in there. That they went to a man, but
maybe under 2 minutes.
Man.
But I know with at least 5 minutes, they're still playing zone.
Maybe that's when it happened. And when I said that maybe there's a timeout, they're like, hey, please, for the love of God, let us play man.
Yeah, maybe.
I think a big part of the reason they lost, though, is because of that Texas Tech cat talking shit the day before.
Oh yeah. Drop that. What was that?
You can't say that.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah. I appreciate the Stones, right?
I do. What did he say, though? Did he say?
He said, I didn't plan on attending Coach K's last game, but as it turns out, I'll be there. Right. So basically,
it works into my schedule or something.
Yeah.
I was like, you cannot say that.
No. And Murray State bringing back Steve Prohm to be the men's basketball coach. If that name strikes a bell with you, he was Iowa State's coach. Before Iowa State, he was at Murray State, so he's just returning back there.
Oh, okay.
After a year off there.
Okay.
Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit will be the announcing team when Prime Video takes over the Thursday Night Football package in September. Michaels moves to Prime from NBC, where his contract ended last month after he was in the booth for his 11th Super Bowl.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't know where to rank them all and all that, but I know they're clearly above your boy, Troy Aikman and Buck.
Yeah.
The voice of the Cowboys.
Has got Super Bowl championships. It's whatever.
I was just looking at Steve Prohm's record. So at Iowa State, he's been okay. When he was at Murray State before, he was a ton better. Like his record there was just, I don't know.
At Murray State?
Yeah, at Murray State. So it makes sense. Go back. Only been to the the tourney 6 times, it looks like. So
There we go.
not bad. But yeah, it makes sense to go back. I think you have a better chance of success and that type of thing. So
North Carolina wide receiver Tylee Kraft has been diagnosed with a rare form of cancer and has begun chemotherapy treatments, he announced on Twitter Wednesday. Kraft wrote that he had been experiencing debilitating back pain and went to the hospital to get checked further. He was diagnosed with cancer March 14th. He's stepping away from football but plans on returning to the field as soon as possible.
I hope he can.
Yep, definitely.
I hope we have a success story coming, next season, maybe the season after, but hopefully that's what we get to see.
Yeah.
Members of Congress are planning to host a virtual summit with college athletes and advocates next week in hopes of stoking momentum for NCAA reform. The summit, scheduled to take place Wednesday in the lead up to this year's Final Four weekend, will include a trio of panels moderated by Democratic senators and representatives with active NCAA-related legislation proposals. Senator Chris Murphy will lead a discussion on the importance of allowing college athletes to organize and collectively bargain. Representative Lori Trahan will moderate a panel on gender equity and Title IX. Senators Richard Blumenthal and Cory Booker will focus on the need to protect the safety and well-being of college athletes.
The Title IX thing is going to be really difficult to do because that means you have to be able to identify a man or a woman.
Yeah, we're in
right.
Today's day and age, I don't think we're allowed to just assume, right?
That is correct.
Because that's what the Title IX thing is, right? Equality. Well, you've got to know what's going on to be able to the more people dig into that type of stuff, the more confusing it gets and the harder it's going to be for actually equality for women and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. So fuck that. I wouldn't want to deal with that. That's impossible.
The government can't, keep from fucking up themselves, so why dig into the sports? You already got fucking Neil deals going on. The athletes are getting money. Keep the fuck out of it.
And this is why that right there.
It's all about
I like what
somebody's dipping in and getting money.
Right. I was liking what Danny was saying, but I was mainly put this in right there. We don't have enough issues in the United States and worldwide that we need to worry about what the hell college athletes are. Now, I'm not talking about the equity and all that shit. That's a separate situation to me. The equality of things, but I'm talking about all the other stuff. The pay, the supposed protection. It's all about money, and where can we get some of that too off of you?
Like taxing the nil deals and stuff like that.
I think they're. I'm like, but we have so many things. We have so many things wrong in the United States and across the world. We're gonna worry about that right now. I just don't feel like this is the time to be worrying about that shit.
Yeah.
What's that? Basically, you can get it's name, image, and likeness.
So you can get paid in college.
You can get paid for your image and likeness. Yeah. It all started over the NCAA football game.
Kids can now get millions of dollars just to go to a school. Literally, the Texas quarterback, he enrolled into Ohio State so he could get a couple milli. Then he left and went to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much legit what he did it for.
Until Arch Manning gets there, and then he'll back out again.
You know it, baby.
Johnny Manziel is returning for the second season of a professional league known as fan-controlled football, he told ESPN. The league, which plays a 7-on-7 format in Atlanta indoor facility, is scheduled to resume games April 16th. It incorporates fans' engagement in a blend of traditional and esports environments and is broadcast primarily on Twitch. Manziel said that his formal football career, in my eyes, is over, but that the FCF is something I wanted to do for fun. If you didn't read anything about it, it wasn't just like he said it like that, like poor me. He actually is like, I've came to grips with his life and how he pissed things away, basically, in so many words. He's like, I made mistakes. I've learned to deal with that. And this is where I am right now, and I'm okay with it. And I just want to play football for fun.
Mm-hmm. He ain't wrong.
Yeah.
You don't need money anyway. He's fine. Even with those mistakes, he's fine.
Yeah.
So,
he'll be all right.
yeah.
They still sell it off him. The Chiefs sign wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling, formerly known as MVS, to a 3-year, $30 million deal that could be worth $36 million with incentives to replace Tyreek Hill.
So before we touch that, good story for him. He has a story about how he's cut from his high school team, football team, and whatnot, and this is now his second contract signed in the NFL. So good for him.
Yeah.
Now to the second half of that.
Okay.
Good story, but he doesn't replace a reduction.
Whatever do you
Tyreek
mean?
Hill.
What? What do you mean?
He's just not as good a receiver. But maybe he'll be the Lord and Savior for that offense. Chiefs fans are surely hoping so.
Ask Green Bay how that goes when he drops one of those 50-yard bombs when he's wide open. How well that feels.
Yeah, man.
MVS isn't a bad receiver, but he's a one-trick pony, is what it comes down to. Tyreek Hill wasn't a one-trick pony. Like, it looked like it. He looked like he was just a skyrocketer up the field. That isn't what he was. They would game plan him all over the place. Short screens, everything. He'd go across the middle. He wasn't just a run as fast as you can on a flag,
Right.
on a fly route.
I am loving everything the Packers aren't doing and letting people go.
What?
Because it pumps up all the Minnesota fans' hopes and dreams of winning that division.
I think the Lions are going to win the division now.
Lions and Bears.
Stop
I think
it.
won
Stop
two.
it.
Lions and Bears.
I can already feel it in the room. Y'all are already like, oh, Minnesota's chance.
No,
usually it happens when the games start.
I'm still sticking with Green Bay's probably going to win, but it's actually making me feel even better that they're going to make the playoffs because the division is not strong by any stretch.
Right.
And then they're going to get literally embarrassed in the first round. It isn't even going to be in the ballpark because they think they're better than what they are because they won a division. They got in the playoffs, and here we go. And then you're going to get smacked up by a legitimate contender that has a legit defense, offensive weapons, and maybe even only a mediocre quarterback and still whoop you up.
Yeah, the only thing we'd have going for us is that the NFC is not stacked this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's the Rams, the Bucks, and everybody else, really.
Yeah.
I'm about to hop back on board. He's trying to get me all hyped up. I
Arizona.
might as well.
What? Excuse me?
Arizona should be up there.
What's that?
What?
You think they're gonna get? You think they're gonna get over this drama?
Come on.
With your boy?
Oh,
He
get out of
hates
here.
the Cardinals, bro. I'm telling you. You
Come
jumped
on.
into a
All
can of
that
worms.
aside, with everything that's going on, for real?
They've settled down since then.
Yeah, they have. I think he just wants money. I mean, he sees everybody else getting paid.
So I'm not fully against what you're saying, but it has calmed down. Like, he's let it calm down. He could have been chewing this out even more. So I'm with you. I really am, especially if it kept going like that. I think the Cardinals are going to pay him.
They will.
And they're going to be in the same boat as about for maybe not this year, but the year after. They'll be in the same boat as all these other ones that are getting almost $50 million a year.
Yeah.
Not be able to field the team around them.
But yeah, because they'd have him and what's Hopkins? He's probably still top 5, top 7 paid receiver.
Not maybe top 10 with
Yeah.
all these big receivers that jumped
There's
bypast
been
him.
what this year, 4 or 5,
that
4
that were
probably?
out of his that
Yeah.
are now in there.
Yeah,
So he's definitely top 10. Definitely top 10 pay. He's still 20 something million. I bet you 22 somewhere in the ballpark.
Yeah.
But that's still considerably less than Tyreek's $30 million a year that he just did.
No, agreed. But then they don't have a quarterback making what?
No, I agree with you.
Right?
Yep,
so that's where it's gonna be tough.
What were you saying, Miles?
I actually am thinking the Vikings go to the Super Bowl.
Whoa!
No, I really believe in their head coach.
Yes. Keep saying it.
Yeah.
Keep saying
See? And Kawhi.
See, there
Kawhi.
you go. Might as well just jump on it right now.
Our GM's legit. Did you see that meme, by the way? The one where it says the Vikings GM signs Zadarius Smith to I know you see it to a contract. The Bears GM signs Dakota Dozier to a contract. Yeah, you guys got the wrong GM.
Hopkins is third on the list at $27.25 mil.
He is up there still.
Yes.
Still, okay.
And
So he was that much further ahead of everybody then at that point.
Devontae's at 28.25.
Now I'm talking about
Tyreek's at
before that.
30.
Name a name before that?
Devontae 28.25 and Tyreek with the 30.
No,
now.
who's just-
no,
who's
before
just
him. Yes,
below him? Okay. DJ Moore 20.6, who just signed.
He just signed that.
Yep.
Go another one.
Keenan Allen 20.03.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
so he's like
So he
7 mil
he
above.
was
Holy
that. I didn't
shit.
realize he was that far
and
up.
Neither did
Cooper's
I.
right at 20 as well.
Yeah, but think about that right there.
Yeah.
He was getting paid that much. DeAndre was more than the next highest receiver.
Yeah, because they re-signed him when he went to
Yeah,
Arizona,
I just
right?
didn't realize it was 27
Yeah.
though.
No, yeah, I
Holy
didn't
shit. Okay. Yeah, they're not gonna be able to keep all of them guys at the end of the day. They have 1 year. And that'll be this year to try to.
Yeah, and they can release him with $18 million dead cap hit next year.
So I hope you're right. I'm not betting on it for the Vikings. But here's one thing that I'm getting a little mad about is usually everybody's blowing the Cowboys starting about right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the opposite. Everybody's like, Cowboys haven't done shit. They're letting people walk away. They're not going to be as good. I don't want that. I want everybody talking them up so that way they can just shit
the
and
bed.
do what they usually do.
Yeah, shit the bed.
I don't need them playing with motivation.
They're just
okay?
gonna do
Like
they're gonna do what they usually do. Be mediocre and lose them playoffs, maybe.
Hey, but they'll keep your hopes high too, there, big guy, by whooping the shit out of the NFC East.
Your division was the weakest, right? Last year.
Was it that much weaker than yours?
It was still more. So yeah.
Was it that much weaker than yours?
Yes.
No, stop it.
Yes.
Stop it. The Lions would murder any one of you. They would end up as the number 2 up there.
yeah, didn't the Lions win like 4 straight at one point? 3 or 4 straight?
Yeah.
What
And they
the
were playing
heck?
people tough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
The Lions wouldn't have pissed their playoff hopes alive like the Commanders did.
Maybe. That was a really bad division.
The division is rough. Speaking of the NFC least, the Eagles re-signed defensive end Derek Barnett to a 2-year
Oh, that's the
deal.
NFC East. The NFC least is the North now.
No, NFC least. Still
It's
the
the North.
East. Still the East. You guys live in the 90s and before. That's where you guys partake. And nobody's owning the
Well,
Eagles one.
why
Not
has-
even NFC East.
We live in the
teams.
90s. Why haven't the Vikings won one since then?
You know, they just get
We
cheated
live in
on.
the 60s.
They get
bro.
cheated on.
50s
And we get,
and 60s. It's all good.
We got NFL championship. What's up?
Oh, okay. So the Cowboys.
No, they don't. Not an NFL championship. They don't. Yeah,
I think
where
they
you
do.
at now?
I think they do.
No, they don't.
Do they not?
No, they do not.
Do
Where
they
you
not?
at now? How come you don't have an NFL championship?
Unfucking believable. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Come on, Rio.
Lombardi's is where it's at, bro.
No, that's fake shit. Go back. Make the NFL great again. Take the AFL out of it. Nothing really out of that. Kobe Bryant's estate has reached a new long-term contract with Nike to continue producing both footwear and apparel from Bryant's Zoom Kobe series. Vanessa Bryant and Nike announced on Thursday. The news comes nearly a year after Kobe Bryant's initial endorsement deal with Nike expired.
That's good.
Good business for both.
You
of them.
know, after all this happened, I was kind of wondering how that would go with her. And, you know, there was a lot of stuff that kind of went on after the crash that was kind of ugly.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if she would just kind of yank almost everything and keep it hidden. So, but that's good. I think it's, you know, he's an icon of basketball, and needs to continue.
Yeah.
Yep.
You didn't want to see it disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't look the same, even though I don't mind NBA players swapping up shoe deals. It wouldn't, with him not around now, it would look weird with him going to like Adidas.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
WWE's Triple H announced he will retire from in-ring competition after revealing he has a defibrillator in his chest following last year's cardiac event.
Yeah, probably going to have to.
Damn.
But they're about to get a stud coming from NCAA wrestling, Gable Stevenson. Apparently he's the next big thing. Big entertainer. And, yeah, he was in college, and he signed a big multi-million-dollar deal with WWE.
Okay.
So he won his national championship this year, and looks like he's going to bolt.
Make that money.
Is that the Minnesota one?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that dude is a mammoth.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah.
I don't watch wrestling very much. You know I'm not a wrestling guy, but I didn't watch him this year. But last year's finals,
Yeah.
I think you're over at my house. I was watching that dude is a beast. Good guy.
Heavyweight, and he can do like a standing backflip or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So take off a cross, do a front flip, and then end up doing a back flip, land on his feet.
He's a freak. He's the one that left his shoes on the mat when he walked up when he won this year.
Okay.
2 teenagers who helped bring a runaway school bus to a stop and called for help have been invited to the Patriots season opener. Robert Kraft delivered the invitation himself during a Zoom call with Connor and Seamus. Such a cool name. I'm immature as shit, people.
Dude, you gotta hate your parent. When we talk about bad names for kids, that one makes the list.
Right. Like,
Anyways.
goddamn, my parents hated me. Connor and Seamus Collins, who stepped in when the bus driver suffered a fatal medical event on March 14th in Topsham, which is Maine, by the way. Topsham, Maine. You guys are unbelievable, Kraft said Tuesday. My team told me what you did there. You guys really called an audible on that bus. Jesus. Yeah,
nice.
Like that wasn't scripted for him, right? The bus had 14 middle and high school students aboard. Connor, a 16-year-old student, is credited with steering the bus to a stop on an embankment. His 14-year-old brother, Seamus, dialed 911. Others helped by rendering aid and flagging down passing vehicles. Police Chief Mark Hagan credited the kids for their deliberate action to save lives. The bus driver, like if you didn't catch that, he did pass away at the hospital.
Oh, damn.
But kind of a cool story.
That is cool for them. Unfortunate for the bus driver.
Yeah. There's a lot of momentum for changing the NFL overtime rules. Competition Committee Chairman Rich McKay said Friday. But it's unclear whether enough owners will agree on a specific proposal when they gather next week for their annual meetings in Palm Beach, Florida. At the moment, two proposals are under consideration. The Colts and Eagles have proposed making it mandatory for each team to have an overtime possession before moving to sudden death. The Titans, meanwhile, proposed a tweak that would implement mandatory possession for each team unless the team that has the first possession scores a touchdown and converts a 2-point attempt. It needs 24 votes to pass rule change.
I feel like if they're going to change it, it needs to be more than that.
There's that whole bag has candy in it.
Oh, what the heck? Yeah.
I think. If not,
I have
there's one back there. But either way, these, either you play a whole nother quarter. That's where I'm at, or you don't touch it at all because the rule is the rule. Win it in regular time. Then.
Nah, I'm down with it. Baseball made all these changes. Let's go, NFL. Make something different.
I'm okay with it, but everything is like, I don't know how to put, like, I'm tired of.
Mm-hmm. At this point, you got to make it gimmicky, right? It's got to be something crazy. Fucking.
Just
because none of these solutions fix anything. You can still complain at the end of one of them, right?
Absolutely.
So
the first time one of these teams has a hiccup in the next one, well, they didn't get a shot to come down even after that team did a 2-point conversion and scored. We could have came down and got a touchdown on a 2-point conversion. It'll never stop.
Yeah.
Win it in regular time. Sudden death, I don't care how you do it, but the rules are the rules. Guess what? Play defense.
I'm telling you, the only way it's going to be better is if you do that kicker thing. Where it's like each one, just
line
like fucking soccer or something.
Line them up.
Each one gets a shot. Back it up. You get another shot. Back it up.
Yep.
That'd be intense.
Which one are you liking more out of the two, though? Out of the two proposals?
I don't think either one does enough to fix it. I'd rather keep it than those two.
Yeah, I'd rather go to college rules than those.
I wish they would.
Put it on the 25.
You
go for it.
Yeah.
Race to 1 point. You got to go for 2, and you just keep dueling until somebody does.
I would say add 10 yards to it. 35.
Okay.
Add 35. It's the NFL. Yeah, field goal kicker if you don't get a single yard.
No. I'm saying no. Eliminate the kicker.
Just
you have to go for 2. You have to score a touchdown, and you have to go for 2. And you keep
but
dueling back and forth until somebody doesn't get
until someone doesn't. Okay. Whether both of them score nothing.
Yeah.
In the first attempt round. Okay. All right.
They score nothing, and you just flip it, and the other guy's turn.
All right.
I love that. I'm just thinking about the Chiefs-Bills game. Imagine the score of that fucking game if that was the rules.
Yeah, no kidding.
That shit would be like 110 to 1.
Hey, but
two
high
or
scoring
something.
game would be crazy.
Yeah.
I'm still fully on board. Like, that was I'm part of the NFL conspiracy. I'm telling you. That was horrible. Like, 2 defensive-minded coaches let that happen. That should have never been down to that.
Right.
It should have never came down to that because they literally let one of the two main receivers, as in their tight end, wide open, protecting the out of bounds with, what was it, 8 seconds? Is that what we're famous for talking? 7 seconds?
Yep.
All you had to do is play press coverage because he wasn't going to get the ball out and soon enough for you to be in the middle of the field.
That's twice as long as Jimmer lasts in bed. So.
Oh, absolutely. Spend more time unzipping and dropping trows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. That whole play didn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the NFL conspiracy side of this. What the fuck are you chuckling at over there?
Miles, it finally clicked. Miles a little slow. All of a sudden, he's like, oh! Y'all nasty motherfucker.
I'm not the only one. He did have a chick that shit the bed.
Fact.
Miss it.
Call her Bugs Bunny. Did you call her Bugs Bunny the rest of the time you were with her?
A second grand jury in Texas declined to indict Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson on Thursday after considering an accusation of sexual misconduct. After a careful and thorough review of the facts and evidence documented in the reports prepared by the Brazoria County Sheriff's Office and the Houston Police Department, as well as hearing testimony from witnesses, the grand jury for the Brazoria County has declined to charge Deshaun Watson with any crimes. In its introductory press conference today, Deshaun said that he has never disrespected women and that he was surprised by the allegations of sexual assault and inappropriate conduct that have been made against him. I know these allegations are very, very serious, Watson said, but I've never assaulted any woman. I never disrespected any woman. This is 2 grand juries, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Are you starting to lean more towards the other way a little bit, or at least throwing it in the 50-50 pot?
No, I still think something happened.
I still think something happened.
Maybe
not 23 counts.
Maybe the 23 is what's hurting the indictment part.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they're calling the wrong witnesses.
Mm-hmm. I could see more 10 or less, 100%. But something obviously happened for this to come out like this, and I think some people may have jumped on board. But obviously something happened for it to come to light like this.
Maybe it was. So I'm not trying to justify any part of this. 2 things. I'm not justifying any part of what possibly happened, or at least the story that we have been told, right? Basically, all the stories are pretty damn close to the same, roughly. But maybe it was nowhere either A, near as extreme as the story has made it sound. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe he just turned over and his towel was off or something. Maybe it was none of the extras, the extracurricular stuff. And then someone told a story, like one of those females told a story to her girlfriend. You should sue him. Maybe it started like something like that too. And then all you had to do is get to this attorney that I'm telling you is that truck stop or on the billboard, 1-800 law, I got your back type of shit. And then this is what you do. You pile on. I just think it's funny that two different grand juries have now said there is nowhere near enough evidence. And this one says that they took in the women. They took in their testimony.
Yeah.
Into consideration when they were making this too. That's the reason why I'm more tossing towards the 50-50. I'm not saying that something 100% didn't happen. What I am saying is maybe it's nowhere near as extreme as what it's coming off as.
Right. He turned over and he was hard.
Right. That's what I'm getting at.
Gotcha.
Maybe there was none of the other extra shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it would have been a great image or anything like that. But maybe he was like swinging, kind of swinging for the fence. Maybe she'll,
Yeah. Kind of attached to this, I think, was it Ian Rappaport or Herb Street? Probably Rappaport. Must have listened to 3 Gig Sports and heard my take.
Yeah.
He put it out there, said, maybe the Browns are keeping Baker just in case.
Yeah, I saw
old boy.
that dumb
Did
shit.
you see
It's
that?
still not happening. I was going to give you a text earlier and be like, yeah, Evidently, you're the NFL rumors guy on Twitter. You're just making stuff as we go here. So you're just running with me and Danny's takes and putting them on there, and then you put your one random one. Yeah, it looks like we could.
What are you talking about? I called the Matt Ryan to the Colts as well.
That wasn't a very hard call. Mine was way harder.
You disagreed.
Yeah, you disagreed, so.
That Matt Ryan, but that was based off of Deshaun Watson going there. I didn't know that they were going to trade him outside of that.
Yeah, you kind of hedged your bets because you bet on Deshaun going to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And thought maybe he's going to go to the Colts. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
But I was leaning towards, I was like, if you wanted to win, that's what I said. If you wanted to win, he's going to go to Cleveland, and he should go to Cleveland.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the only problem I have with the whole case situation with Watson is, did he not have them sign an NDA?
Yeah. And
What?
he was trying to settle.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
So I'm going to play contrarian to this one. If you were trying to get on with your life, this is a little different than our everyday life right now. You're a multi-million-dollar quarterback that's trying to keep going. You might not have thought that either A, you didn't do anything, or B, what you did was like you definitely, like the vast majority of people probably wouldn't think is that bad. But in today's era especially, it probably is. Like I'm talking about like maybe just a flip around like what you're saying, had an erection or something. You just want to get it done and past you. Because they're gonna
No. He had him sign the NDA before the massage and everything.
Yeah. But that's anything. That's if you go on the internet right there, anytime any major athlete comes on there, for anything, I'm talking about like they make an appearance somewhere. Like there's like, hey, you're not taking a picture without me knowing. There's no video recordings. There's all kinds of stuff like that. That isn't the first time you see that.
Like rappers, sleep with girls, they have to sign NDAs.
Right. But no, and that
They shouldn't have signed it then.
He tried to settle early on.
Yeah.
Right.
So like we talked about before, and you agreed.
I do agree with you, and like I wouldn't if I was innocent. I would not.
Innocent.
But every other person, I also don't have a publicist in my ear, an agent in my ear, and all that. Not yet, hopefully. But you know what I'm getting
Going
at.
pro on something?
Yeah, hopefully this.
Touche.
No, but you know that's what I'm getting at. A lot of influence comes from the people that you trust to manage your career, that are in your ears. Like, hey, we can try to get this done. The faster we get this done and under the table, like past us, we can get it under the table and start working towards your new image. Even if because when you run into shit like this, you can ask anybody whether it's true or false. You know, it's still a black eye regardless. At the end of the day, let's find out. Let's say that he found some video proof that he didn't do any of that shit. Not saying he did, but I'm just saying, let's say there was. You still can't take the image of that out of their head, right? Out of every person's head, knowing that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
for sure.
so that's maybe it's one of those things he's just trying to get past. I'm not saying the dude's innocent. That's nowhere near where I'm going. All I'm saying is we have two grand juries that have literally said there's not enough here, there isn't here, whatever. We're not pressing charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, OJ was innocent too. So
No. He actually got indicted though. So he actually was on trial for murder.
Yeah.
This would be hard to prove, though. I mean, what's word of mouth saying that he did this? You know, like what kind of evidence?
I don't know. Probably bring the dress that had his supposed semen on it.
Yeah,
Maybe, if you haven't watched it yet, for
right.
sure.
I don't think it was that bad. As bad
face?
as like what it started as, but I do think something's there.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I believe there probably is too. I'm just saying that maybe it's nowhere. They're like, hold on a second, because still at the end of the day, it's still two grand juries that said no, we're not pressing charges. It's done.
Right.
You know, this isn't this. I understand it's not a trial. But that being said, there's two opportunities to send them. Usually, it's pretty hard to get out of that. Once you get indicted, it's pretty hard to not go at least to trial.
Right.
You know, and two of them have literally said no. So there's something else too. Like that's what I'm saying. A little bit of guilt there. Versus, I don't think it's nearly as bad as what is being portrayed then.
Yeah,
because if it was,
also had a history, right? Didn't something?
Yeah,
in
there was something
too?
that popped up. He was doing it in college apparently as well, and that's his college teammates come out and said that.
I heard that too. I don't. Everyone else has been backing him about his moral character too, though.
That's fine. You got
I
it.
don't know.
Whatever.
Which side is
We're
on?
no judge, jury, or
If
executioner here, right?
if
It's what we
somebody
think.
tells me that you were into urination games, I'm gonna back you, bro.
Hey, I got you.
You
You'd
know,
be like, I was
golden
there.
showers.
I was there one time.
Yeah, it was one time. It was not that bad. He
wasn't.
pissed in a toilet. She dove underneath.
Yeah, no big deal. Regardless of the right, wrong, who did it, not guilty, guilty, the NFL has to be pissed right now, right?
Yeah, every part of it.
They can't. What can they do, right?
Right.
Cleveland fucked them. So if they suspend him for the whole year, that's not going to hurt him
Right.
at all.
Yeah,
Exactly.
here's a punishment.
Right. Sit games and be fresh for when you come back.
It's like, hold on, I got the perfect analogy for you. It's like your kid gets in trouble. It doesn't matter what he or she does. They get in trouble. Mom says they can't have Wi-Fi in any way, shape, or form on their phones. Dad's like, well, that's fine. I'll just pay for the data of the cell phone.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't matter that there's a goddamn suspension. There's no Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
No, because I get the same thing with my damn, and I get to end. Technically, it actually helps the Browns when you do suspend him anyways, because he's gonna stay healthy for those, and he's not gonna get punished financially. So it's not much of a punishment. Yeah, they would have to be pissed.
Shit's nuts.
Suites and seats catch fire at Denver Broncos Empower Field at Mile High. That's the name of it now.
Nice.
I just say Mile High Stadium. Is that what you like to?
Always.
Yes.
Okay.
Always.
of course.
Mile High. The Denver Fire Department responded at 2:15 p.m. to a fire that began in a construction zone in that part of the stadium. Department officials said at a news conference. The fire was under control by 2:45 p.m. About 75 firefighters were at the stadium with a second alarm called before the fire was completely extinguished. Investigators have not said what caused the fire. Denver Fire Department spokesperson said that the fire covered over 1,000 square feet and began on the suite level or the fourth level of the stadium and then spread into the seats in the third level. Stadium officials said on Twitter that the fire originated in a construction zone near the East Club Lounge. The sprinkler system engaged at the suite level, but the fire department was called to extinguish the fire in the seats as well ensured the fire in the suite level was out. These seats are made of like a hard plastic, so there was a barrel of black smoke everywhere.
It's just starting early because that offense is going to be on fire.
Whoa! I like it.
Yeah.
Get you some corny right there. Like it. I don't know. What I was say by I don't know is some people are bigger on Little Russell than I am. I think he's a scrambler that everything almost seems like he can't be scripted in any way, shape, or form. It's always got to be makeshift with him.
I think it's going to be way different with that many weapons everywhere. Besides that tight end spot.
He had the weapons.
He had two.
He had
two.
three. He
He
had
had
three-ish. He had three-ish. His tight ends aren't bad either. They haven't been bad over the previous years. But two are more than some quarterbacks ever get in their whole career.
Yeah.
So, and you had one of the best ones.
His best career was when the NFC West was not great, and then when it got great is when he declined.
Right.
He's gonna be on a steady
And then
decline.
when he got paid with the Seahawks, they couldn't just like anyone else, they couldn't pay the other guys, right?
I think they'll be fine. They'll have a consistent running game. Because who's that running back? That
defense is
Javonte Williams.
Yeah, Javonte.
The defense is gonna be good.
Somebody else.
I think it's a perfect situation.
Old
for 'em.
boy is on the market right now, but I thought they had another one too.
They had Melvin Gordon.
They had Melvin Gordon.
I don't know if he re-signed.
I don't think he's re-signed
Not
yet.
yet. Yeah.
But they had another one, like a third string, that was kind of like a. No, I can't remember.
I don't
Off the top of
remember
my-
either.
Put up the most points in fantasy when
What's that?
was it their second string running back put up the most fantasy points?
That was Javonte Williams, right?
Yeah.
He's a rookie, but
Yep.
he'll probably start.
He definitely had the upside, right?
Yeah.
Between
Oh,
him
yeah.
and Gordon. So,
Yeah.
Gordon
Makes
had a
sense.
few flashes, but
Yeah.
I think it's built
Uh,
perfectly for him, though, to definitely shine.
Former Jags passing game coordinator Brian Schottenheimer will serve as a consultant to the Cowboys in 2022, filling the role Ben McAdoo had last year. The move will reunite Mike McCarthy with the Schottenheimer family. McCarthy entered the NFL under Schottenheimer's father, Marty, as a quality control coach with the Chiefs in '93 and spent 6 years on the staff. Schottenheimer will help offense coordinator Kellen Moore and defense coordinator Dan Quinn with opposing team analysis and league-wide trends.
Okay. Yeah. Any help that you can get is always good.
Yep.
Ben McAdoo, if you can't remember, went
Former
as an
Giants
offensive
coach. Yeah. Where'd he go?
Yeah,
Carolina?
offensive coordinator for the Panthers. Yep.
Okay.
We'll get into some wacky. What'd you say when we were talking about the sports, the NFL rules? What you said they have to go what? If they're gonna change, they're gonna start doing what? Like what? I can't remember what the verbiage is that you used.
Oh, if the NFL rules are going to change, like
Yeah.
for overtime and stuff?
Yeah,
I don't remember what I said.
you said something.
Perfect.
That part perfect.
Perfect.
So this will
You
strike it
just
maybe.
halfway there.
So 3-point conversions, an alternative option for onside kick, and a best of 3 play shootout in overtime are among the different rules for the revitalized USFL. The new league released its rules Wednesday, explaining several twists to the traditional rules in the NFL and college football. Scoring teams have a third option to attempt an extra point. A successful scrimmage play from the 10-yard line equals 3 points. A second option to retain possession after scoring will be converting a 4th and 12 from a team's 33 instead of the onside. In overtime, each team's offense will alternate plays against the opposing defense from the 2. Each successful scoring attempt will receive 2 points. The team with the most points after 3 plays wins. The subsequent attempts become sudden death if the score is tied after each team runs 3 plays.
Okay.
So, a little bit more definitive of an answer than the NFL has right now. The overtime period will extend until a winner is declared.
That's the way it should be.
Yep.
Should never be a tie in the
Never
NFL. right?
should be a tie. Yeah. Cool.
I like some of these other leagues that are coming out, kind of pressing the rules, changing some shit up like that. But
Just come up with something. If it's shit, change it the next
It's
year.
all about
figure it
keeping
out.
fans
Like,
engaged.
so
That's
the
what
NFL is working with.
what they're
I
doing.
told you they were working with the XFL unofficially or whatever. It's not like they're partnered 100%, but they're also working with the USFL. So the USFL, I didn't have this in here, but the USFL, the NFL is giving them permission to use their, basically their refs in training, their training program of like that are in the training program that have worked their way up from college to that, and they're allowed to use them for this too. So
Right on.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think the NFL sees ways to, hey, let's see how these play out over here. Like this rule over
Exactly.
here, this equipment here. They'll be liable for this, that, and the other. We won't. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, the
we don't have
problem
to pay the refs, because they're gonna pay them some version of some money too. So they're gonna be a little happier. We don't have to worry about them.
The problem is they're not going to have the same amount of eyes on it, though. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you're going to get... Like, yeah, you as the NFL will get a picture of whatever you're trying to change, and you'll see how it plays out there. But you won't have the same amount of eyes that can give feedback as if it's an actual NFL game, if that makes sense. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
I don't know if Rio was or not, but I know Luke was, and I was. I was big on the AAF. I watched a few of those games, quite a few of those games actually. The Arizona Hot Shots was my team.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And they should have won the championship, but the season kind of, dead stopped.
Oh.
Weird. Yeah.
Is that COVID?
Couldn't pay nobody? No. That was like couldn't pay nobody.
Yeah.
And then they sold to a billionaire that said there was or sold part of it to a billionaire that said that he would help them out because he's seen the positive sides because they didn't have enough money compiled to start.
I see.
And that billionaire just bought them because they had the rights to a betting app or something like
Oh,
that.
fuck.
So he got the betting app and then he let it fall apart.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was a hockey guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
believe
Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Sound right? Yep. There you go.
Can I say one rule I'd like to see the NFL require?
Yeah, please.
Instead of the coin toss, I want to see where they used to run after the football. What was that, XFL? They used to fight over the football for first possession.
The original XFL? Jeez.
I always wanted to see that.
Love it.
Let's get chippy about it, right?
Yeah, start it off.
Make the 40-yard dashes worth something at that. How about that? You're fastest dude against our fastest dude.
In pads.
In pads.
Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how you get the first one. Your fastest dude versus our fastest dude.
There you go.
Photo finish. After being taken into custody Wednesday night in Miami Beach on charges of aggravated battery with bodily harm and criminal mischief, UFC star Jorge Masvidal is no longer in police custody after being released on a $15,000 bond early Thursday morning and pleading not guilty to the charges. Both charges are considered felonies, according to the arrest report. His next court appearance is scheduled for April 21st.
Yeah, 2 felonies. That's huge.
Yeah. Usually,
Not great.
when you have money, it may work a little different. But when you have multiple felonies, usually the county attorney uses that to basically, they're going to tag you with one. They're going to negotiate it down to where you're still going to eat one of them. Hey, we're going to get rid of this one right here, and then, you're going to take that right here. I don't know if he actually turned him in, but did you see your guy, Khabib's comments on this?
Yeah.
Did you see that
Yep.
about the kids?
I did,
Don't
yep.
talk about people's kids, and that isn't the same scenario.
So
But.
I think it's a bitch move on both parts, if what the stories are true.
Okay.
Masvidal, if he actually sucker punched him,
You're a bitch.
You're a bitch. It's one thing if you come in and like you make eye contact, you're like, I'm gonna fuck you up, and then you fight him. But if it's sneak up on him and hit him,
when you're both professional fighters,
exactly. Yep.
it isn't like you're going up and trying to this one big dude's like scaring you or whatever, and you whoop it and you like sucker punch him or something like that. And you take off running.
Right.
You're
Professional
both-
fighters. Okay. Yeah. Colby, if you actually turn him in, you're also a bitch.
You're also
Because
a bitch.
If you're the baddest gangster out there, fucking, you wouldn't give a fuck.
Right.
Right.
Now, until we know for a fact, in Kobe Covington's defense, I don't know how Miami necessarily works, or Florida for that matter, but Danny can attest to this too. If the cops are called, it is no longer in the person's hands anymore. That is literally up to the police and the county attorney whether to press charges. Mm-hmm. That's like if somebody and not to tie in that because that isn't the case with Danny, but like for instance in Iowa, if a woman calls you in for domestic, but then by the time you get there, because you got in a big ass argument, doesn't say you even did anything, maybe you just nudged her out of the way or something, whatever, and she blew up. Doesn't matter. They come there and they believe that there's something, they can charge even if she says no. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I'm not certain if that's the same thing here. I'm just letting you know that there is that instance. I know that me and Danny were educated on something else, like back in our younger days with showing up to fight some people or something like that, possibly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I don't know why Jimmer mentioned a domestic.
No. That's why I said no.
Sketchy,
no,
but,
that's why I stopped. I was like, the domestic has nothing to do with it. I was bringing that scenario,
yeah.
But our scenario was like dudes on dudes type of shit fighting.
Y'all would be
fighting.
dudes on dudes. Y'all would be dudes on dudes.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly okay. It's 2022.
Yeah. Yep. So that's where we found out. We found out all kinds of educational stuff. The one I'm talking about is the one where we found out that you can actually fight in public with another person, but cannot use anything more force, equal or force. Less force. Because that's all it literally came down to. Mm-hmm. Equal or less force. You go one step above, that's where you're going to get charged.
Yep.
Miles, what were you saying?
He tracked him down using Twitter.
Jorge did?
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, that's how he found out he was in Miami at that club.
Hey, Rio or Miles, do you have a full-time job?
Yes.
See, he's reading the extras. Executive producer. This is the stuff that you're supposed to be finding out.
Yeah. It makes sense if you don't think about it. You get a shot for a job, and then they drop that. Oh, sorry.
No, but he went headhunting. We know that for bare minimum.
Yeah.
We didn't know about that part of it. Yeah. We did basically know he had to have because all the reports that are coming out is that he came around the corner or whatever, came around from behind and sucker punched him, right?
Yeah.
That's what we gathered.
But I mean,
more
also,
of the story,
Kobe,
I'm with you.
And you're
I'm with
talking
you.
shit. You gotta expect some shit like this, man.
Damn straight. And then you better not. Have been the one that pressed charges.
Exactly.
I'm like, no, I'll catch you when you get out. In fact, I might be the one that bails you out.
Did you see? He also said that he had $15,000 damages to his Rolex watch.
Out of the 90.
Kobe?
90?
Yeah. Out of 90. So that's why I'm thinking he did.
So he did, like a little bitch.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. That's why I'm thinking he did do it.
Kobe, you were getting me. Yeah, like I was becoming a fan of yours. I actually kind of like that little. I like the theatrics of UFC when you start doing some of that shit. Like when you called old boy a cuckold. I lost my shit laughing.
When did you say they go to court?
April 14th,
So
21st, 21st,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Dana White's going to have a fight April 20th between the two again.
22nd. You mean
No, the day before court.
day before court? Ball, just make sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, Colby's in between a rock and a hard place, though, too, right? He almost got cut, had to start becoming more entertaining, and I think he's just taking it too far.
Yeah.
Potentially, but he wouldn't be fighting if he wasn't the character that he's turned himself into now. So it's like, I guess you got to figure out a different way to talk shit.
Do you
get that personal?
Do you though? Like
I think you do because some of these guys who grew up Masvidal, grew up in the streets and from a different breed than it's you say something like that to somebody about somebody's family or kids or life.
He didn't say that to him about him though.
Right, I'm just saying in general.
Right, so his is their own legitimate beef. What he said was about Dustin Poirier.
I know. I'm talking about how you talk shit.
Yeah.
That's what Danny was saying.
Yeah.
I think, yes, you have to.
No, he did it. Well, it wasn't like
It wasn't
about
about
his
his kids. It was
but
about
he was like, you never took care of your kids,
Yeah.
is essentially what that side of it was.
Well, it was,
and that's what
we don't
I'm
know if
saying.
he's lying though either. Was it talking shit or was it telling the truth?
Right.
Purdue up by 2 with 7 minutes remaining.
I'm gonna be on the fence there or tip the other way. I really am. So I like he did exactly what he was told to do. He is no different than anyone that's highly entertaining. You either usually hate him or love him, regardless. And you know what? You wouldn't be talking about the man. You would not be talking about that man in any way, shape, or form had he not been talking like that. Right? He's trying to pad his own pocket at the same time. How do you do that? How do you get the big money fights? You sit there and jaw because he doesn't have a championship belt, so you're not going to be that. So you know what? You know how you make that highly entertaining where everyone wants to see it? People, even the nonchalant fans, yeah, shit like that. I want to see Poirier fight now.
Right.
So he's doing exactly what he should. Well, now, whether you like it or not, or whether we like it or not, I should say, it is what it is. He's still going to get paid. I mean, it's the same, no different than old boy, the boxer, right? And there's the Pauls.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to like him. They still get paid. And that's how you get paid.
And let's be real, too, Jorge. Like, you are wealthy now.
Yeah.
You are not that same cat.
You didn't need to go
in the
hunting for
streets.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's a clause where UFC, if he were to, let's say, go to prison or something over this felony, if the UFC could just be like,
Oh, I'm
right,
sure they could, right?
right?
Right.
So,
It's
think
gotta
so.
be.
it's like, what do you, like, so for all the shit that Colby did talk, what are you showing your family at this point then, right?
Yeah.
You didn't need to do that.
Right.
You're good, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but then he
Like,
uses
where they
the
are-
whole, like, you attack my manhood and stuff like that. Like, bro, that's how you teach your kids, like, it's bullshit.
No,
Don't worry about it.
exactly. Be a man and stand up even stronger,
Yeah.
right? There's
Yep.
plenty of instances where when you're young and dumb, that's what you do.
Right.
That's what you do. That's exactly what you do when you're young and dumb. You go hunting.
Exactly.
He isn't. He shouldn't be like that by now.
I don't like where you're going with that.
What, young and dumb?
No, here we are. We still back Conor McGregor. I still back Conor McGregor, and he's done worse.
I don't back Conor.
Yeah, I'm done with him.
Right. So am I.
But I'm saying we would pay to watch his fights.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I said I would watch Kobe's too. I'm not away from Kobe. Like, he did what he has to do. I think Jorge. I'm not trying to like side with anyone on this one. I'm really not. I just don't. Especially if Kobe, if you're a bitch about it and you like, yeah, let's press charges. Jorge, you are one of the biggest bitches in my book. I'm sorry, but any sucker punch, that is not where we grew up.
Right.
If you're gonna do that, you stand up man to man. Let's do this right now.
Yeah.
You can come in charging directly right in front of him. You can literally dead sprint and punch him right in front of his face. If it's exactly what we've been reading, you're a bitch.
Especially, your job's literally to fight that guy.
Yeah.
And you got beat up.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Because he knows that that he's on the same level as Kobe. Like, he really isn't. I'm not saying Jorge can knock somebody out. Old boy probably can't nearly as much. He doesn't have that knockout swing or anything. But an actual traditional fighter where he doesn't get touched as much, he doesn't get dinged as much. He knows how to fight. He has to do a sucker punch,
Right.
right?
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm getting. I mean, I just wish I hope it doesn't affect him. I want to see Jorge at least one more time. He is on the downside of his career, but I'd like to see his next fight.
Yeah.
Before it does fall, because I like watching Legends, before it's completely fallen off. But
Yeah, I love Khabib, but that whole statement is too like old school and respect for the game and things like that. These guys are trying to make money at this point, man. That's why they're all talking shit like that.
Yeah.
You know,
in fact,
it really is.
In fact, he's not about money though. That's part of his problem because
Right.
he didn't start getting a little bit of money until the very end. Because I didn't even know who the hell this dude was. Like the die-hard MMA fans, Rio to my right, maybe yourself, and then I know Luke. They were fans of him. Nobody knew who the fuck he was because he wasn't out there beating his chest. But that also didn't get him paid either.
Yeah.
These boys are getting paid because they're mouthed. That's a fact. So, one final one when it comes to baseball. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts, who was entering the final year of his contract, agreed to a 3-year extension. This comes a day after guaranteeing a World Series title this year.
Wow.
Mark it down, he said.
Mark it down.
Roberts has led the Dodgers to 3 World Series appearances and 1 championship through 6 seasons. His .622 regular season winning percentage stands as the highest among those who managed after 1940. As my secondary team of the Dodgers, I appreciate this. Yeah, .622.
So
That's impressive.
if you come in swinging like that and you underperform,
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
bro.
Dude, I don't know if I'd say that just by like the injury bug make it, like now you might have put some bad juju on you. I'm all about that type of stuff.
San Francisco.
So I'm talking about the injury
too, right?
I'm talking about the yeah. I agree with you,
I don't
but
know,
like,
though. They lost pieces.
They did. Sure,
They did.
Yeah,
Big one.
But
Chris
you don't
Bryant,
know what team's
boom,
going to be
out
up
the
and
door.
coming too.
Right.
Like,
Yep. Baseball is different. I think
Yeah.
anybody can be good for the most part. You know, it can fluctuate
Team-
more than other sports.
team continuity, yes,
Yeah.
is a huge deal. You catch on in baseball, 162 games.
Yep.
You don't
I
have
think
to be the
anything can
you
happen.
don't have to be the sexiest team.
Look at
Exactly.
Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Aren't they a good
They got-
example from last year?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Now, no bueno. What was that? The first 3 quarters of the season.
Right. They made
So-
a big push at the trade deadline
Yeah.
and whatnot.
You guys follow baseball more than I do.
Okay.
What are the Reds doing? The Cincinnati Reds.
Gave up everybody.
Yeah.
Why though?
Picking.
They're going the opposite
I
trend
don't know.
right now.
Them in the athletics, man, is crazy.
Them and the Athletics just selling house.
I just see
Uh,
tweet after tweet of them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Before we move on, I do have some UFC Fight Night picks. UFC Fight Night tomorrow night. I am taking Latifi over Olenek. He's a minus 210 favorite. I do have a couple underdogs in here. I didn't realize until I looked at the odds. I'm taking Kai Kara France over Askarov plus 310 underdog. Askarov is undefeated. I'm taking experience and Kara France. It's only going to be like his second or third fight in the UFC. But I think overall he's just better. I'm taking Brian Barberina over Matt Brown, minus 110. They're both kind of vets. But Barberina, I think, can take it over on his feet. I'm taking Joanne. It used to be Calderwood, but now it's Wood. So I wonder if she got married or something. Over Alexa Grasso. Joanne's so good on her feet, and she's gotten really good grappling over these past years. So I am taking her. She is plus 200.
My immature ass really wants to say something
What's that?
really stupid right now.
What are you going to say?
You said she's really good on her feet.
Yeah.
What do you think my stupid ass statement would be?
How is she on her knees?
Set him up for him to knock him down.
Oh, man.
Hey, that could go. Hey, that can go for literally anybody, guy, chick,
Yeah,
whatever.
And in the main event, I'm actually taking another underdog. I'm taking Dacus over Curtis Blades, plus 360 underdog. And I'm saying this because Curtis lays on people a lot, right? He wrestles them and boring. That's why
Who
he
is it?
doesn't.
Say that again.
Curtis Blades.
Oh yeah.
Taking that Chris Dacus to upset him because it's another guy who can wrestle. So I think wrestling is going to be kind of split across the board, and I think they're going to stand on their feet. And I'll take Dacus to knock him out or TKO.
Okay.
And that's my picks I have.
I like it. Well, a couple things. So I have a few quick hitters questions that we're gonna go through. Not like your stuff, just different. What do we got for time right there?
We are at an hour and 9 minutes.
Okay, we got a little bit of time. So, couple quick ones for you. Teddy B, I've been hearing all this dumb shit. I know you guys are kind of seeing this too, right? At least the analysts are too pointing out with these new weapons, Teddy B should be the starting quarterback. Tell me, for the love of God, that you don't believe that's true.
I don't believe it because look at all the weapons he had in Denver, and he didn't push the ball down the field.
Thank you, Jesus. And he did the same thing in Minnesota when they had receivers. Zimmer, you know this, was famous for chewing him out, for not taking shots. He's like, well, you have a top 5 defense. I want you to take shots downfield.
I think you're underestimating Teddy. So
I like him as a career backup. I thought you were going to go. I like him as a career backup. Okay.
Playing.
Yeah, he'd be a great
go with
backup.
the upside, see what we got, right? But this is legitimately a thing. Have you been seeing this? It's been on. I know it's been on ESPN for sure, and then I've seen it roll across Twitter too.
I wonder why he picked Miami.
Who?
Teddy.
Teddy?
Because I think he's a great backup. So why wouldn't you say, I don't know, go to a contender? Maybe Bucks, take a pay cut, go to the Bucks, try to back somebody up there. I don't know.
Maybe he believes.
Maybe he thinks.
Maybe he thinks they are. I'm being serious.
No, maybe he thinks he can take that spot.
Or he thinks he can take the spot.
Because I don't.
If there's one, well, Tua's gets banged up too.
Okay.
So he may get his playing reps
okay,
too.
Maybe he's like, I can get playing reps. I'm on a 1-year deal. I prove that I can still kind of.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like in his mind, yes, that's what he believes. But
maybe.
Anyone that's in the NFL needs to believe by this point that he's a very, very good backup.
Hold on, Marcus Mariota has been sitting on the bench for the last 4 years. Has got a starting job.
I know, but Marcus Mariota is better than Teddy B.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right, but he's been sitting on the bench for the past 4 years.
Is it too high or that division that Miami's in? They play
The East.
Yeah, they play a lot of. Is it too high coverage or something that Tyreek Hill will take advantage of that I think Teddy Bridgewater can actually take advantage of.
Teddy B can't press the ball downfield. Is what we're getting at. He just doesn't.
Yeah,
he doesn't, but he probably
does.
can better than Tua.
I don't know, too. If Tua is told to do it, I've seen him wing it. I've seen him throw more downfield than Teddy Bridgewater did in the last 4 years. I swear to God. Right. I don't know. I know you're not sold on Tua. I get that, and I understand the left-handed hand. I get all that. I really do. I don't know if Tua's going to be the guy.
Hey,
but
hold on. Pause
we know what Teddy
quick.
B is.
Purdue up 1 point with 3 minutes 42 seconds on St. Peter's. We got a ball game, and Kansas is up 6 points. On Providence.
Ooh, let's go, Prov, baby.
Minutes. We got some games, man.
We got some. And that's one thing that the NCAA tournament has not been short on this year, right?
Every game.
Every it seems like every game's been in there.
Told
right?
you March has been
It's been crazy.
Amazing.
We're going along with exactly what Rio's been saying for so long, is that the college basketball scene has all but leveled out. There's so much talent getting spread across the whole field that it isn't just a slam dunk of. You may still have some of your blue bloods, but those blue bloods can lose any given night because there's talent spread throughout the whole scene. So,
hell yeah.
I was thinking about this one. This is more just some normal everyday thing. I sat there thinking, how many times have you looked at somebody and you laugh because they have the most expensive thing of something? You're like, Jesus Christ, you don't need that. Come on, man. Now, it doesn't matter what it is. Think about any possible thing you want. Think of it as you're driving by somewhere and they have a riding lawnmower that is top of the line.
Got a small yard and a fucking riding lawnmower.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Or but it's still it's a true name brand. That's what I'm getting at.
The thousands.
The true name brand of everything. You're sitting there walking by and Jesus Christ, you don't need that. This will do this job. This would do that job. Why would you do that? A wrench. You go pay or Toolbox, even better. Toolbox. What is the one name brand that keeps coming up? Snap-on. They pay what, $4,000 for a normal toolbox?
Easy, yeah.
That's not even talking the big massive ones. But you guys that aren't huge into vehicles, but will kind of work on stuff. My one from Harbor Freight does just fine. Holds the tools just fine.
Yeah.
Right? We chuckle at it, right? I was thinking about this. It's all in the eye of the beholder, bro. When you do something that you are passionate about, you're going to spend more. But we laugh at it when we see someone else when we don't understand it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
When I go and play
your dildo collection,
you don't. Yeah, yeah. Especially when I'm.
Shit.
Hey, don't worry about it.
What's that? Why is that a fire extinguisher? Oh.
But I'm talking about, like, for instance, anything in life. For like, so we're passionate about baseball in my house. At least the little league scene. I should say. All my kids play some version of baseball except for Harper, so they play some version. A lot of parents, when they take their little league kid out, they go buy him a cheap Rawlings baseball bat. Does the job, don't it? Hits the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And some people will be like, yeah, that's great. And then other people will be like, what the hell are you doing? You don't want to give them the best because you're passionate about it. I go and buy my kid a DeMarini. There's no difference between that and me laughing at somebody that got a goddamn toolbox. That's their passion, right? And we all do it. Find something in your life that you don't do that to, and I'd be shocked.
I'll actually say I do have something wrestling. I don't go out and buy like the fancy wrestling shoes for my kids. I just buy them whatever's at the store.
No, that's awesome. But I'm talking about something in your life.
No, I'm just saying that's.
I was just bringing up something like right here. That's what I meant for like.
Now I won't say I haven't looked, because I have definitely checked them shoes. Like, man, he looked pretty badass in those.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about something in general, not just that. Just think about something that you're truly passionate about. Are you gonna go? For instance, you like to. I know you like to hunt and fish. Let's say like fishing. We'll go with fishing. That's the easier one. Do you have like a $3 pole that you got from?
I'll actually tell you, and Joey can back me up. I was catching more fish on my $15 rod from Walmart than he was on his like $120, $150.
So you're not a diehard fisherman. What's your diehard thing? Is my point.
I don't know.
Here's what
I guarantee it. I am a cheap ass.
I'm a cheap ass too, but like when it comes to like certain stuff, I guarantee you have something that you don't go cheap on that you don't think about.
Toilet paper.
There you go.
Toilet paper and cereal.
I guess I don't buy toilet paper, so I don't know what we get.
I know guys that'll go buy $1,000 golf clubs before they ever swing a golf club. Don't know how to golf.
Hey, I got the perfect one for you. Yeah, absolutely. I got the perfect one for you.
Okay.
Did you buy a knockoff fucking iPhone?
No.
No, you didn't? You bought a real iPhone. What do you got on your wrist most of the times if you don't have it on right now?
I have a cheap iWatch or whatever, like the first one.
But you still have an iWatch. You don't have the knockoff cheap version of that.
When I went and got it, I got the cheapest one there was.
True, but you did not get the knockoff version.
Yep.
Correct?
Correct.
Right? That's my point. Your passion is this. That's kind of what I was getting at. It might not be your passion, but it's something that I'm not going to go cheap on this.
Right.
You may have gotten the older model.
Right.
Me and you got the older model of Apple. I'm okay with that.
I'd say probably, if anything, it'd be my hunting stuff. I don't go out and buy the cheap camo. I'll buy the good camo,
Yeah. Like, or whatever your gears that you're going to stay from keeping to stay dry.
Right.
Right.
Yep. The dry fit and shit like that. I'll buy good stuff. I don't want to buy the cheap Walmart brands all the time.
Absolutely. And I don't know what Danny's is, but I know when you weightlifted, I guarantee you didn't go on the cheap end of like something that you buy from Walmart. Did you on everything?
I don't know. I don't think I have anything like that. Like, not for myself. For my kids, it's different, right? Like, for myself, I don't really, there's nothing I have that's, I have to buy the best or I'm super picky about, to be honest, dude. Like, I don't care.
For the most part, I'm not either, except for when it comes to some of the, like, there's very few you're going to see me run into. When it's my passion, when it's basketball, I'm not going to go, there's a perfect one. You play basketball every so often. I don't know if you have a basketball at home. Do you?
I don't think I have one anymore.
You don't have one anymore?
No.
But as you became an adult, when you did have a basketball, Danny, did you go buy the $5 special out of the bargain bin with the rubber one that goes like this, or did you buy like a Spalding or a Wilson or a?
No, it was probably $15, not $5, but it wasn't primo.
But it still wasn't. You're still not getting my point. You're telling me you bought a rubber basketball. I've never seen you shoot with a rubber basketball.
I don't know.
I know you didn't.
I get where you're going, though. I'm just saying I can't think of anything specifically.
Yeah, they're trying to act all humble, like it doesn't happen.
I can't either.
Not a single thing. What sweatshirt you got on right now?
My brother got me.
You still wear it?
Why would I?
I will find it's easy enough for me to say, but that was the one I was thinking of that I thought was kind of funny. Like we judge someone off of.
No, I get 100%. Yeah,
you end up you're not buying the cheapest thing usually. I don't mind buying used stuff when it comes to tools or a mower. I'm not buying a brand new fucking mower. That ain't gonna happen.
Right.
I didn't buy a brand new golf cart. I bought a used, technically old fleet one. Right. So that is it. I just wanted to do its job. That's what I care about.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then
St. Peter's is up by 2 with 2 minutes left, bro.
damn.
And Kansas is only up 2 with 7 minutes.
So
left.
I'm obsessed with harassing Danny about his eatery lately.
Okay. Wiener.
Well, we know
How
that.
do you?
We got that. So he's obsessed with this liver thing, or he started this liver thing, right?
Yeah.
And it being he said the healthiest things that you can do. A little bit of a correction. It's actually, it has the most nutrients based for density. It's not the healthiest thing you can eat. The healthiest things you can eat is actually kale and spinach. And that is actually backing up and looking it up. That wasn't me making it up. And also broccoli's on that list too, which he doesn't eat, by the way. But he'll eat raw liver. That isn't the question. Question is, what wouldn't you eat? And this is more directed towards you because you went to something to eat, trying this, right? For your health or whatever you want to do, right? What wouldn't you eat even if it wasn't found to be if it was found to be the healthiest thing ever?
Booty.
What? That's a typical Tuesday, bruh.
No,
Eating ass.
no, dude. You don't do that on Taco Tuesday night or Diarrhea Wednesday.
For Taco Tuesday.
Wet ass Wednesday.
Wet ass
otherwise-
Wednesday. Swamp ass.
Yeah, you gotta wait. You gotta do it. Wait till
is
Thursday
there something
through Monday.
Is there something that if it was scientifically proven, not just being told to you, it was scientifically proven
Onions, probably.
that it was the best thing in the world for you health wise? What wouldn't you eat, Danny?
I don't know. I'd probably try to figure, broccoli is super healthy for you.
Yes,
But I can't.
it's like
it's physically, I cannot eat it. It's not like I don't
It's
like
like
it.
inside the top 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like inside the
super
top 10 of all.
I wish I
healthiest.
liked it, right?
No, I'm not talking about just generic foods. I'm talking about anything in the world, Danny, that you would not eat if they said it was the healthiest thing. I'll give you for instance. Someone says it's good for you to eat. The best thing for you to do for your health is to eat human brains. You doing that?
No, probably not.
That's a little different, yeah. No.
But I'm just saying anything in the world. Where would you say it? Like if you found out that it really was scientifically backed.
Well, I'm not going cannibal anything.
Cannibal nothing. So that's going
Cannibal nothing.
Yeah, so we'll get off that.
nothing cannibal.
Broccoli.
Anything
obviously.
off of an animal would be good, I assume, right? Anything
Yeah.
off of an animal.
Yeah. I mean,
Vegetables outside of the broccoli,
like
right?
broccoli, Brussels sprouts, can't do those, man.
Can't do those too.
Try.
Or pickles.
Pickles are different. I just don't like pickles.
You could do
I
pickles.
can't eat broccoli.
But if you found out that pickles were the healthiest
I
thing,
would
you
try
could
to
do
choke
it.
them down, yeah.
You could do
Yeah.
it. Okay. Okay. I was just curious. And
Are you eating human brains, Rio?
I'm not, but I have been
If it was
drinking
legal.
this superfood.
If it was legal.
superfood juice.
I should say if it's legal.
It's got like blackberries, all these kind of super,
Oh yeah.
fruits and veggies in it, or whatever, and it does have kale or spinach in it too, I
Yep.
believe.
Yep.
It's
It's literally a coin flip of everything I looked up was kale and spinach. Like one site will literally say kale, and they did say it was a tight one, and then another one will say spinach. But everything I'm seeing is like between those two, and then a lot of them give you a list, and a lot of them are basically a high majority of them is vegetables, of some kind. Sure. I think there's one thing that was black beans of all were consistently in the top 10. Mexican black beans. They provide 3 or 4 different things for you. Phosphate. I don't know. I'm not going to give false stuff.
I like black beans,
but a few things like that. And
go to Chipotle. I always get them.
Yep. And then they're also slow digestive, so that it feels like you're full longer.
42 seconds, and they're up 4, gentlemen.
Who?
Peacocks?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hold on. We got to type that in quick. Has anyone looked that up? Hey, look that up real quick.
Is it Peacocks?
What do you mean? Your
Day?
phone's dead?
What the heck?
Is it Peacocks? What the hell's your problem? What do you got for phone?
It's probably an iPhone. He's
Is
American.
it? No, I don't. National Peacock Day.
Damn.
Oh, it did enter itself. March 25th. What's today's date?
March 25th.
March 25th is National Peacock Day, a random day to many, but would be an omen to the sporting world of the potential upset to come from the St. Peter's Peacocks.
Boom.
So I'll give you a strange law, and then we're gonna roll over to your thing. Your ever-growing popular segment. And that is weird law. So we're on to Florida, gentlemen. You know how hard it is for me to pick one? Out of Florida?
Yeah.
Florida's pretty crazy. So.
Oh, my God. I'm going to give you one, and I may stick with Florida for the next, few episodes, actually.
Let's do it.
Okay? Florida. If an elephant is left tied to a parking meter, the parking meter has to be paid just as it would if it were a vehicle.
That's awesome. Makes sense. It's bigger than a vehicle.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Right, but so we talk about this all the time. Every time we read a weird law, that means somebody did this, right?
Somebody.
Who had a
somewhere.
fucking elephant?
Who's just riding an elephant around? Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We got big guy.
That's insane. All right. Well, you know what time it is.
I do. Can he even hear it? Can you even hear it?
Tonight's Rio's Randoms brought to you by Bo's Power Washing. He's out of Belmont, Iowa. Make sure you hit him up for all your power washing needs. He'll mow your lawn, anything like that, clean your gutters as well. You can hit him up at 641-903-1720. Tonight, so I saw something crazy, and this is why my first one's on here. A guy went on an amusement ride and fell out of it. Was one of those things that lifts up and then drops down real fast. Like the seatbelt wasn't buckled. He fell. What the hell was that? Dude, what?
Did you lose a tooth? Did you lose a tooth?
What
No.
the hell
Shit.
fell out of your mouth? He coughed and some.
Are you ready? Jeez. Like you haven't seen something ever come on.
Dude, it was just something big. Yeah. Were you
See,
making visits to our buddy Mike's house?
Hey, you don't worry about
Okay.
it. We're
All right.
reminiscing about the good old days.
Anyways, I seen this ride, and the guy, it didn't show hit. It showed barely. You could see him falling
61, 63.
and then hit, and you heard a nasty splat. So, brings me my first one. Would you rather fall out of an amusement park ride or get hit by a car?
Get hit by a car. I feel like I'd have more control over it. I could try to deflect somehow, like you fall from an amusement ride. You didn't give a height or anything, so I'm gonna assume it's gonna be a high one.
It's probably get hit by a car, right?
Yeah.
But just as a story to this, so back when Sam and I first started dating, when she was trying to impress me or whatever, she's not a very brave person, but I was getting her to do fun shit, go on super high water slides and all this stuff that she would never do before. Well, we were going through Kansas City to see some friends, and there's this water park down there that at the time it was going to be the biggest, the highest, and the steepest slope water slide in the world, right? And this is a big one that it was like a raft one. So you could have 6-8 people on or whatever.
Damn.
And I'm like, we're going to do this. And she's like, okay, we're going to do this. Let's go.
All for that penis.
Got tickets. We're about to go. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, let's go. We got there, and they were working on this slide. That was supposed to be the day that it debuted, but it was still too dangerous. So this slide was so steep, they had to add these grippers that would slow you down as you come down because it was going too fast.
Jeez.
Fast forward. So we missed out on that wonderful opportunity. Fast forward to the future, and a kid died the first day on that because I want to say he got decapitated. I can't remember exactly what happened. But basically, so this thing is so steep, and it's a big-ass raft, right? And so you're coming straight down, and then naturally they've got to have kind of a slide to slow you down, and then you go, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't slow down. Well, it was going so fast that on that first hill,
It jumped up?
jumped. Yeah, and so there was a net there, and this kid got clipped, and dunzo.
The kid got clipped?
What?
There was a taller adult that got
Yeah.
it first?
Yeah, so that thing launched.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
The kid's gone. So I think it might be funner on a ride.
Jaden
But
Ivey.
it would not feel
Jaden
good.
Ivey made 3-point jumper.
Who?
65-64.
Shut up.
Ooh,
8 seconds left.
That's game. That is
5
game
seconds
there.
left I got, bro.
Do you?
Yep. St. Peter's.
St.
Peter's
Peter's
is
could end
gonna
up
win,
winning
yeah.
this.
15 seed, bro.
Yes, that's
Following
insane.
Mason Gillis, 4 seconds.
Number 2. What athlete
Wait,
did
what'd you choose?
get hit by a car.
Yeah.
There's so many things that could happen. You could
Fuck
hit
yeah.
stuff coming down off an amusement park ride. Oh, my gosh. It'd just be insane.
What do you got, Miles?
Miles, yeah.
Amusement park. I'm getting paid.
Oh.
If you survive,
If
yeah,
you
for
survive.
sure.
I'm taking the chances.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Hey,
yeah.
that's what. Hey, he's right. That's a way
like
bigger
it.
lawsuit versus the insurance is the insurance, right? The insurance company that hits you.
Yeah.
That's in the vehicle that hits you.
Yeah.
Kansas is up 4 with 4 minutes left. 4, almost 5.
Final 67-64.
Oh,
Peacocks
my
upset
God.
Boilermakers.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Okay. It's big time.
Jesus, crazy.
It is crazy. All right, my last one for tonight. Would you rather retire as a forgotten coach with a winning record or a famous coach, but you're known to lose all the championship games you're in?
I'll go with winning and not being remembered. I'm all right with that. That means I can live in peace too. Not getting harassed. No one will recognize me possibly. Walk down the street. I'm all right with that.
All right, I'll go the other end. At least I made it to some chips,
Right.
even if we lost.
Right. I'm going that way too because then I probably got paid a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe not. You didn't say that. You were just talking about maybe he wasn't boisterous enough. Maybe he's just a real quiet guy. Just kept kind of doing his business. Yeah, whatever.
I don't know, man.
Maybe he just won championships. You can't remember. You can't name most of the coaches that just won those.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
Eric Spoelstra got paid, and he should not have.
Did he?
He's not a
I
bad.
mean, more than-
Well, they boosted him a lot quicker, but he's been winning since LeBron's left. Now, does he not deserve it now?
No, not paid.
What? Then who's supposed to get paid in the league?
Pretty much just Pop, I think.
Yeah, but after that.
I mean, it's a pretty big step
Okay,
down.
thank
I
you.
don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Old boy Rivers has a championship. Yeah,
Fucking. Oh, okay.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you. Well, that's what I'm getting at. So if Spoelstra doesn't deserve that, then I don't even think Rivers deserves that. And he's
No.
going to get it off his pay.
I don't either. He
I'll be
didn't do
damned.
shit
No.
outside of that one chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nice set of Rio's randoms there. Oh, they had a shot, by the way. Jaden Ivey did get a 3-point shot off.
Heck yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Bam, 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 bam. 54-48, Providence, Kansas, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
For those of you that didn't catch it, St. Peter's just beat Purdue.
They did.
15 seed.
On National Peacock Day.
National
Let's
Peacock,
go.
National Peacock Day.
yeah. That's awesome. We should not pick against them.
Ouch. That hurts my one remaining bracket.
Who do they play then? Who would be next?
Oh, they have the North Carolina UCLA?
Oh, fuck.
Is that
that's
who
not
they'd
good.
have?
That's not good. All right.
I haven't looked at the bracket, so.
Okay. I like that, Rio. Good questions. Those were a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found a bunch of sports questions, this or that or whatever that I'm running through. So, pretty interesting.
St. Peter's would face the winner of North Carolina UCLA.
Yeah, so can we agree they're done now?
No.
You don't think so?
No, Purdue's a better team than both of those teams that they're about to face.
No.
Yes.
Right now. Right
No,
now,
they're
I think
both
North Carolina
hot.
is a better team.
I think
UNC is hot, and so is Providence.
I know UNC's hot. Providence on the other side. I'm talking about St. Peter's facing them. It's it's UNC and UCLA. That they would they would face St. Peter's. One of those two.
Right. So I'm saying if UNC wins, right, they're really hot. Providence is really hot.
What's Providence have anything to do with it? That's what I
Or
keep
not
saying.
Providence. Sorry.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
St. Peter's. Sorry,
Gotcha.
I was saying the wrong name.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not selling them out now. I'm done. Calling it like UNC is hot. We've already stated that. I think they are hot.
Yeah.
And I think they're in line. I think that helps. If anything, you want to face a 15 seed when it comes down to your Elite 8 matchup.
You'd want to.
Yeah.
But that being said, they're playing a different brand of ball right now that is stopping people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, God, it's not interesting basketball to watch because they're keeping them. They're such a good defensive team. I told you about that. St. Peter's and their offensive rank is like 300th or some shit like that. But their defense is so damn good that you're locking down some legit teams here.
Yeah, I told you I've got a ton of people in my team that are big Purdue fans and shit. Literally, somebody asked, "Isn't 13 points too many?" And the guy that used to be the mascot, he said, "Boilers by 100." So, 100 question mark?
Well,
Say that you don't want that Cinderella story to be done.
Right.
so much for
Final
the mighty
Four?
Big Ten, huh?
It is.
No doubt.
Well, there's who's mighty then? Because there's not very many sexy teams left.
ACC?
ACC has 1 in UNC.
2.
And Miami. 10 seed, yep.
Duke?
Well, they're always good.
As
in the ACC.
Yeah. Oh,
as
now
in the
they're always
ACC.
good.
Okay.
That one I'm backpedaling on. I'll eat that one. I'll eat that one.
Fair. Hey, on the bright side, I don't know if you guys saw, but the CDC updated their website. Looks like a shitload of deaths they erased from their website due to a coding error.
Oh.
And it looks like about 26 of the deaths they removed were kids. So a quarter of the deaths that it said from kids from COVID were completely removed. There was a coding error, something weird. They don't know what happened.
Oh.
So now they cleaned that up.
You would not be touching a little baby segment that we've been flirting around with off the air about Conspiracy Corner, would you?
It's weird, right?
Okay.
It's very
Yeah.
weird.
Very weird.
Yeah, check out the CDC website. It's all over the place. There was a coding error, Miles.
Yeah.
So we're talking thousands of deaths that were labeled as COVID deaths. They had to update, and so now the number's a lot lower than it was.
Yeah,
just
because they don't want anyone panicking over them giving their kids a shot.
right. Yep.
With that being said, need to start promoting. We're only a little over. We're about a month and 3/4 away.
Yeah.
Our guy has been putting them out there more and more consistently too. The May 21st fights in Mason City, Iowa. Be one hell of a good time. I need to get the name down. Have you guys been working on the name? Asian guy.
No.
It's like Kamaru, like that's short. That's the
No,
short
I
version.
was going to let Mike say it.
Yep.
Have Mike say it.
When he came on, see if he knows it. That way we can hear from him first. And
Yeah, and if you're listening, Mike's still trying to add some fighters too. Sounds like that's still updating. So Miles, if you're in, hit up Mike. Ask this.
me and you, heck yeah.
Oh, Miles
we'll
and Rio?
split the win money.
All
Let's
right.
go.
I would do it for fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
So,
Jamie, we can finally get in on that.
what's that?
Me and you,
Get on what?
let's go in the ring.
How can my ass whoop? If I don't drop you in the first like minute and a half, this fat dude's going down.
It's
So
over.
all you gotta do is run for a minute and a half or two. So you'll be all right.
Hell yeah, baby.
You'd be all right. So I've got a quick and make sense if you don't think about it tonight.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit in tribute. Tomorrow marks the 9 years from when my dad passed away.
Hey,
And
rest in
so-
peace.
And so thinking back to the dog that he had, KO, if you remember him.
Yeah.
So he's this crazy as shit Dalmatian terrier. Fucking weird mix.
Okay.
But so my brother and I had this dog trained to where like we could chuck a baseball as fast as we could at his face and he would catch it every time, right? Super good reflexes. It was insane. Like this dog was so fast. He's also an asshole for the record.
How did you
too.
find that out?
By being
By
assholes to
being
him.
like mad at him and
Okay.
throwing the ball.
Okay.
And catch it. We're like, oh. But we were fucking around one night and we were sitting in the dining room at my old place in Des Moines. And I think we just replaced like a 9-volt battery, right, out of a smoke detector or something. And I look at it, I'm like, do you think he'd lick it? And my brother's like, what? The fuck are you talking about? I'm like, do you think he'd lick this, you know? Because he catches everything. So he's like that guy you see on TikTok. The wife's like, my husband catches everything. This is KO. He would catch anything you threw at him, right? And I'm like, I'm going to toss it up. And he's like, shut the fuck up. And we actually, somewhere down the line, we've got video of this too. But I chucked the 9-volt battery at him and he fucking caught it like in his mouth. And he starts freaking out and flips it up. So I told you he catches everything. So he flips it up, catches it again.
No,
right?
shut
And
up.
this happens like 5 or 6
Shut
times.
up.
And he keeps doing it until one time he catches it in his teeth and then in the like electric part is pointing out.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, you didn't do that on purpose, right? I'm like, no, you fucking didn't, right?
Puncture the
So I
back.
get it from him, and I throw it, and he fucking does it again and gets that part pointing out. He learned what part shocks him. So he would always face it. So it wasn't fun anymore. After like 5 minutes, it's like, this is bullshit. This dog knows what's going on.
He starts spitting it out, dude. Still catching it. He's like, no, no. Ah.
Oh, my God.
Ah.
So that was a good time. And not too long ago, I was sitting with my wife, and that came like back to memory or whatever. And I'm like, I don't have dogs like that. Max won't do it. He's not going to catch that. He'll catch food. So Max is a dog I have now. But I have Banner and Ember sitting there with us, right? And so I look at my wife. I'm like, did you ever lick a 9-volt battery when you were a kid? She's like, no, I had good parents, or, some bullshit like that. I'm like, first of all, you're lucky. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, second of all, I'm not a good parent. What about these two right here? I was like, let's have them try it. She's like, you're fucking not going to do it. And I'm like, come on, And so we had that back and forth. So I tried to give it to my son. I'm like, hey, just stick your tongue on this. And he looks at me. He's like, no. I'm like, what the hell? He's like, and he looks at my wife and he looks back at me. And her reaction screwed it up, right?
Yep.
So naturally, I couldn't get either one of the kids to lick the damn 9-volt battery because of my wife.
Oh.
So, words of wisdom, if you're going to do fucked up shit, don't tell the wife. Man.
Yeah, don't tell nobody. Don't give a warning.
Right.
Just do it.
CPS, don't you worry about what you just heard.
Hey, don't talk about it. Be about it.
You damn right. You damn right.
It makes sense if you don't think about it. So, as we wrap up, how's that Kansas game looking?
58-53, Kansas, a minute 30 left.
Kansas ahead.
Kansas is ahead.
Yeah.
Jimmer,
They're going to eke it out.
Might have to take a shot here.
We'll save it for the next one, evidently, because we're almost done now.
Hey, we can. Hey, Miles, how you doing?
Yeah, what have
Maybe
you
we can
been up
stretch
to
this out
lately?
a little bit.
Yes, of course.
Miles, you son of a bitch.
Hey.
Right.
Hey, we
got a
did-
bachelor party coming up?
So we did see the date for our championship defense, July 1st, I believe, but it's a Friday.
It is a Friday, not
on a Saturday.
of our beer golf challenge.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they put it on a Friday because it's on the 4th of July weekend. That's their excuse. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, come on, man. A Friday?
You're still going, right?
Of course I am.
I
That
mean,
isn't
yeah.
the point. That isn't the
Hopefully
point.
this time I won't be partially sick with COVID. So
Hey, you can hang, right? There you go.
I did well last year.
He did.
so-
That's
I
true.
I do have
Yeah.
to give him and Jared both props. They actually trained up for it.
No, we
They
did.
started
No, we did.
drinking. What was yours? Yours are the Bush Light apples.
Yep, I was hammering Busch Light apples. You know.
I remember the weeks leading up to that, you were like, I got to fucking drink more if I'm going to hang with these guys.
Yeah.
So you were definitely prepping.
How fucked up would it be if they showed up with a DD for the event? Only 3 of them drank and they still all beat everybody by 40.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Well, the bad thing is that we set the bar kind of
That's
high,
true.
right? So now everyone knows what the number is. So now we got to beat that number. The number's been set. So every team that thinks they have a legit shot already knows what they got to do.
Right.
That's true.
So
Looks like
Yep.
that Kansas game's going to be wrapped up. So we can start to close her out, too. For those of you listening on YouTube, make sure you check out the podcast wherever you find podcasts, which is where, Jimmer?
like you already said, anywhere you could possibly think of, Spotify, Apple, Facebook, YouTube, Google, and anywhere else in between.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate it if you subscribe. Throw us a rating, too. It makes a big difference in the reach that we can get for
Yeah.
you guys out there.
Absolutely.
And if you've got a story to tell us, it all goes down.
In the DMs, make sure to send that story into our messages. We'll get it out to all the folks that want to hear it. You know, we do as well. Make sure if you need any merchandise, hit us up as well. We've got hats, we got shirts,
Yes.
all that good stuff. We've also got a raffle up at Gentleman's Way in Garner, Iowa. If you go in and get your haircut, you can enter your name into our raffle, and your next haircut there will be on us.
Absolutely.
A lot of big things happening there.
Hell yeah. And once again, shout out to Mike Estes. We're under 2 months before the big event.
Yeah.
I've seen some videos and pictures he's putting up of getting everything set up, and that's going to be pretty cool.
Can't wait for that night. Friday
Yeah.
night, we're going to have a good time up there at Sports Page, and then we're going to have one hell of a good night that Saturday night actually watching the fights, too.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Well, hey, Miles, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate you.
always appreciate you.
Extra person in the room is always great. And everybody that's listening, we appreciate you too. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love